Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to read the chapter Madam Rides the Bus. This is a Tamil story which is translated into English. It is written by Vali Kannan. Okay, in this sensitive story, an 8-year-old girl's first bus journey into the world outside her village is also her induction into the mystery of life and death. Means when she enters the world outside, see, this is also an entry of the mystery of life and death. She sees the gap between our knowing that there is death and our understanding. Mean she understands this fact. We all know there is death, but how much we understand it. So basically, Madam Rides a Bus is about an 8-year-old girl who rides in the bus from her village to the town and comes back. And this girl is very inquisitive, very curious, and wants to see the outside world. So let's read the first part today. There are 3 parts in this story, so I will be doing them one by one. So first part today. There was a girl named Wali Mai who was called Wali for short. Wali Ammai was the full name. In short, she was called Wali. She was 8 years old and very curious about things. She was very inquisitive. She curious. She wanted to know the things around. Her favorite pastime was standing in the front doorway of her house, watching what was happening in the street outside. So it was her favorite time pass, just standing at the door of house and watching in the street whatever things are happening. There were no playmates of her own age on her street, and this was about all she had to do. Since there were no other playmates, no friends in that street, so this was overall the whole thing she could do or she had to do. But for Wally, standing at the front door was very bit as enjoyable as any of the elaborate games other children played. But for Wally, just standing at the watch was as cheerful, as clear cut or detailed game, as was similarly enjoyable game like any other game for other children. Watching the street gave her many new unusual experiences. Every time she would watch things happening in the street, that would give her so many unusual experiences. The most fascinating thing of all was the bus that travelled between her village and the nearest town. For her, she was mostly attracted by the bus which travelled between her village and the town. It passed through her street each hour, once going to the town and once coming back. Each hour that bus she could see there going to town and coming back. See, the sight of the bus filled each time with a new set of passengers was a source of unending joy for Wally. So every time looking at those new passengers, it gave her unending joy. Day after day she watched the bus, and gradually a tiny wish crept into her head and grew there. So after watching it every day, slowly a little desire came into her mind, and that desire grew in her mind. She wanted to ride on that bus. That desire, the desire to ride the bus, even if just once, but now she wanted to have a ride on the bus. This wish became stronger and stronger until it was an overwhelming desire, until it was an overpowering submerging desire, means that desire became very strong just to ride on the bus. Sorry. Wally would stare wistfully at the people who got on and off the bus when it stopped at the street corner. Wally would Wally would stare very keenly at those people who would get on the bus or get off the bus whenever it stopped at the street corner. Their faces would kindle her longings. Looking at their faces, her longing, her desire was kindled, was created. Dreams and hopes, means looking at those new people faces, her desires, her dreams and hope would create in her mind. If one of her friends happened to ride the bus and tried to describe the sight of the town to her, Wally would be too jealous to listen and would shout in English, proud, proud. Means if some of her friend would have a ride and then he tried to describe the things of that journey, Wally would be very jealous to listen all those things, and she would shout, proud, proud. Neither she nor her friends really understand the meaning of the word, but they used it often as a slang expression of disapproval, to disapprove somebody that they are not interested in, just to show that they would say proud, proud, although they did not understand the meaning of this word. Over many days and months, Wally listened carefully to the conversations between her neighbors and people who regularly used the bus. For many months, she had been listening the people or the travelers, and she also asked a few discreet questions here and there. Sometimes she would ask the discreet, the very careful or quiet questions sometimes to them. This way, she picked up various small details about the bus journey. So now she knew so many detailed things about the journey. The town was 6 miles from her village. Now she knows how much distance it is. It is 6 miles from her village. The fare, the ticket was of 30 paisa one way, which is almost nothing at all. She heard one well-dressed man say. Somebody said when a well-dressed man someday might have said, yeah, 30 paisa is nothing at all. It's only 30 paisa. But to Wally, who scarcely saw that much money from one month to the next, it seemed a fortune. But a poor girl like Wally, that 30 paisa even was a big amount, because she had not seen that much money altogether. The trip to the town took 45 minutes. Now she knew that it's a 45-minute journey. On reaching town, if she stayed in her seat and paid another 30 paisa, she could return home on the same bus. This meant that she could take the 1 o'clock afternoon bus, reach the town at 1:45, and be back home by about 2:45. On and on went her thoughts as she calculated and recalculated, planned and replanned. Means all those planning she was doing, how to go there, how to ride on that bus, all those details of journey, everything she has now calculated and planned many a times. Okay, this is the first part of the story, so I'm only taking this much. Next part we will be doing in next video. Okay, that's all for now. Thank you. Bye bye.